Hi guys, my name is Sam Dyer and I'll be presenting on Excellences and Perfections, which took place on Instagram in 2014. In the words of Amalia Ullman, the Argentinian artist behind it, the idea was to bring fiction to a platform that had been designed for supposedly authentic behaviour. In her pursuit of proof that audiences can be easily manipulated through the use of familiar mainstream stereotypes, Ullman faced intense criticism. In order for the piece to be successful, only a handful of people knew it was performance, leading many art critics to decry that Ullman was publicly throwing away her career. Excellences and Perfection took place between April and September of 2014 and was split into 3 episodes. In a performative narrative, Ullman broke up with her boyfriend, underwent plastic surgery, and went to rehab. In each episode, Ullman embodied a character who she regarded as a popular trend for women online, and a word summarising the aesthetic. Her audience was significant, 88,906 followers. In episode 1, she assumed the role of cute girl with the keyword of innocence. The aesthetic was Tumblr girl, manga, anime cuteness, indie LA girl, kawaii, bondage. The colours were infantilizing and pure, baby pinks and delicate whites. She wishes her skin was paler, proclaims her love for chai soy milk lattes from Starbucks. Pink rose petals and pink ribbons tying her wrists alluded to a sexual undercurrent, an alluring juxtaposition to the innocent nature she was presenting. Everything seems soft, relaxed, her poses and expressions are bashful, the picture's blurry. In episode 2, she becomes Sugar Baby, embodying sin. The aesthetic took a violent turn towards crazy bitch and gangster ghetto. The colours become darker with a golden tint. Black and white dominates the posts. The poses and expressions are now sexual and confident. More of her body is shown off in mirror selfies. In episode 1, she posted a picture of a cute anime teddy bear. In episode 2, she has a Burberry bear from her sugar daddy. At the zenith of her new confidence, she crumbles under the weight of her insecurity, and a blurry recording of Ullman crying taken on the floor at night leads us into episode 3. This begins sporadically. Ullman spaced out her posts in episode 3 in order to make it seem like she went to rehab. She grows to become a life goddess with the theme of redemption. The aesthetic healed with normalization, Girl Next Door, Miranda Kerr vibes. Warm hues of light brown dominated this episode to reflect Amalia returning home to her family. Light silver and blue signify themes of calmness and meditation. She posts inspirational quotes. Her favourite smoothie recipe talks about her nutritionist. Amalia's performance served multiple purposes. It investigated perfectionist aesthetics and Rosalind Krause's aesthetic of narcissism, and it demonstrated how easily an online audience is manipulated. But ultimately, it serves as a work of feminist art, highlighting the stereotype presence of women online. By reducing herself to a stereotype and gaining subsequent criticism for it, she is effectively arguing that women are so much more, and society deep down knows this. Pain, violence, kidness, these are representative of female nature online, she said in a 2013 interview. She highlights the inherent and pervasive carrot and stick reward system. The more someone performs a certain way, the more value they receive in an economy of likes and shares. That certain way of performing more often than not pertains to the male gaze and trends in sexual fetish. This normalization via coercion can be seen in episode 2, where she gets breast enhancement surgery for her sugar daddy, but disguises it by a post saying, "She did it for me." In following up posts, she infantilizes the pain by breaking up her discussion of the surgery with lols. Yet, ironically, Ullman regarded this overexposure as a source of protection. She has stated that by giving all of herself to the internet, it brings the audience to a point of confusion. She's also said the sadder the girl, the happier the troll. The audience laps up her self-destruction, whether they want her to fail or are just along for the ride. Amalia's works are often interested in middlebrow aesthetics. This aesthetic refers to easily acceptable art, to people who use arts in order to gain social prestige. From a modernist perspective, it's considered a forced attempt at cultural and intellectual achievement, whereas from a postmodernist perspective, it's considered a balanced position between high culture and everyday life. In Excellences, Ullman adopts a mocking modernist perspective. This can be seen with ridiculous Ayn Rand quotes, claims that Catcher in the Rye had a profound influence on her life, numerous faux feminist statements. She also mocks those who seek enlightenment in the East by posting about Namaste. Rather than taking after cyberfeminists of the 90s who explored ambiguous identities in a brave new online world, Amalia found inspiration with Amanda Bynes, who notably had a very public breakdown. She also drew on her own experiences. Narratively, she positioned the Tumblr girl aesthetic first because she already exhibited aspects of that persona, so it wouldn't be too suspicious of transformation. And she'd also previously worked as an escort, making the sugar baby believable. Her first interaction with contemporary art was the French artist Orlan, who served as an inspiration. The influence is unmistakable: the physical change of the body, thematic use of colour, and a drawing of attention to aesthetic beauty standards. Comparisons have also been drawn to self-portraits by Cindy Sherman with regard to the body being used as a malleable tool for shifting identities, but I think a better comparison would be a historical one, to Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres. In the 19th century, he established the first female academic nude for public exhibition with Venus, Anadyomene, and Grande Odalisque. Note the smooth sensuousness of the female form. Ingres famously altered and omitted certain elements in order to amplify their aesthetic beauty. Sound familiar? One final observation. The reading by Kernau muses about the conceptual reinterpretation of portrait painting, which I would argue is social media. It survived for as long as it did because it was relatable. It was also a bastion for classical humanistic values that some artists felt modern art lacked. Instagram retains the relatable aspect, yet hardly prides itself on humanistic values. The temporal aspect is also significantly different. One had to pose for days for a prestigious portrait. Now, anyone can instantly capture and upload themselves for social media to critique.